A horde of fans of most ages lined up to meet pop icon Sir Cliff Richard and his legendary band The Shadows in London on Monday as they signed DVD copies of their current farewell concert tour. Cliff and The Shadows, the final reunion, celebrates the 50th anniversary of their record-breaking career in music. Richard is the only UK artist to have charted #1 in 5 straight decades and has scored the most top 10, top 20 and top 40 hits on the UK singles charts. He first joined The Shadows in 1958 and together they racked up 19 #1 hits. Taking a break in the middle of the tour, the pop legends met fans looking to get an autographed copy of the DVD, which features their live concert from the tour at London's O2 Arena.
For me, it was so much better and well attended than I ever thought. I just kept thinking to myself, who's really interested? But they were not just the people of our age. And that last night that we played in Cologne, I saw kids of 12 on the front standing by the stage bopping, and I'm thinking, oh, there's hope for us. We've got another few years to go.
They've probably got in for free.
Yeah, probably.
Screaming, take me home, Dad.
While the tour marks 20 years since they performed together, Richard says he feels they've improved with age.
With the years having advanced, we've all actually, I believe, got better. We've had more experience, so we linked in much more quickly. We became a unit very, very fast. And once you feel comfortable, you're so comfortable with the rock playing drums, and everything was there, I felt free.
While it may be their last major tour, Richard wouldn't rule out future performances together.
I heard Hank say once, well, look, if there was a charity event or some big festival somewhere, we could probably maybe find time to get together. Hank lives in Australia, which is a problem in terms of doing a quick weekend job.
Cliff Richard and The Shadows resume their tour in February next year, visiting Australia and New Zealand before finishing in South Africa. Doug McLaurin, Reuters.
Initial thing, when you come out of school, and within a year of coming out of school, they were like 16 and I was 17 and a half when we kind of met. And then we played our first tour and I was 18 and they were 17. We'll never recapture that feeling of, I'm actually here on stage. Yeah. What happens now is that when you do Move It, I think, oh, that feels good. I was better tonight than I was last night. That kind of thing just supports you and lifts you up. So in many ways it's a similar thing, but it can never be exactly the same.
But also, I mean, you come out today, or this tour or the European leg we've just finished, which was 36 concerts, you're coming out to, 10,000, 12,000, 15,000 people. And you just walk on. I mean, we're old pros. You just walk on, you go, wow.
Because in those early days, of course, we didn't play to that big number. The halls were all cinemas that held maybe 1,500, sometimes 2,000. Yeah. And if we got to play in the Gaumont State Kilburn,
that's right.
Yeah, it was one of the biggest ones.
3 or something, yeah. Because they didn't have PA systems in those days big enough to fill places like that.
No, they didn't. They used to point their amplifiers to the balcony, didn't you? Yeah. And if you sat on that side in the audience, you heard Bruce. If you sat on that side, you heard Hank. And if you sat anybody you liked, you didn't hear me or the drummer.
That was good.
But the great thing is they couldn't hear you.
That was the good
screaming was outrageous.
You guys set out, I was about this high, and you all look younger than me. How did you pull that off?
Drugs.
Well, because we were only this high at the time.
How's it going? How's the tour going?
The tour has gone, the first leg of it, anyway, the European and British leg of it has been absolutely wonderful. We couldn't have asked for more. The audiences have been so responsive.
36 concerts we've just done, including Europe.
How are you finding that?
Well, we're a little tired now. It's a good job we're having a little break, and Hank can go home now. But it's been phenomenal. The whole thing has just been phenomenal.
Yeah, we finished in Cologne on Saturday night, and it was a sensational last night, wasn't it?
Yeah. It was. It was like a combination show because the Europeans are very applausive. Lots of applause. Whereas in Britain, we find the audiences are a little more exuberant, perhaps. Yeah. And this seemed to be a combination of the two, which was very nice. A great way to finish.
Yeah. Is this really the last time we're going to see you all together?
Today?
No, today, yeah.
The last time today.
Yeah, if you come to Australia and New Zealand next year, you'll see us there.
In the UK, I mean.
Well, who knows?
Probably. I mean, in terms of an organised tour like this, it might be the last time. But as I heard Hank once say in an interview that, if there was some special event, there's no reason why we shouldn't. If Hank can get over from Australia,
like another 50 concerts.
Like another 50 concerts, yeah.
Another 50 years. Yeah, that would be worth celebrating.
The 100, the Zimmer Frame tour.
Are you guys saying never say never? Then is that the point?
Exactly. Never say never.
Yeah, it's just that we're not planning to do anything. But in the same way as we didn't plan this, it suddenly came up as an idea when the 50th year suddenly was looming close, that we thought, oh, it might be a good idea. So there might be other times when we might think, oh, this will be a good idea. So if the fans don't mind, you know, having the big question mark hanging there, then we'll...
Do you think you could win the X Factor today?
Well, you'd have to. It's a bit like asking Rod Laver if he could beat Federer. But if you took them if you brought Rod Laver out of that world and put him straight here today, exactly with the same gift, I don't think he'd beat Federer. But that's a silly question. Things change. So the way we were, I don't think we'd win today's X Factor. If the X Factor was then, we probably had a chance of winning it. Yeah. But we've changed. I mean, it just changed. And these kids that win now have got massive influences, wonderful influences, and they sing brilliantly.
Yeah. I'll tell you the difference between how we started and the reasons was we wanted to be good at our craft. We wanted to be a good band, good singers, guitarists, drummers. That was the motivation.
So what happened?
So
that's where we went wrong.
That. So a lot of today's people come into the business because they want to be famous. And that's what X Factor does. The motivation is to be famous. Yeah. And so we probably wouldn't have entered a competition like that, maybe.
I don't mind a bit of gratuitous flattery. A lot of people got into the music business because they wanted to be like you.
Scary, isn't it?
Scary.
Yeah, well, some of those, interestingly, going way back, of course, have become huge stars in their own right, haven't they?
Of course
They've gone on to do great things.
And people like Hank, for instance, and I met Chris Rea. In fact, he really annoyed me. We were rehearsing in Bray.
All right, Chris.
And I said, no, I said, I'm dying to meet him. So we met up at one lunchtime. He said, oh, Clef, how are you? Chris Rea. I said, hi, Chris. He said, you must introduce me to Hank Marvin. I could have thumped him. But people like Chris Rea, and I guess Eric Clapton, and there's a whole bunch of guitarists that are out there who have actually made a big career for themselves because the Shadows presented this sound. And so innovation is part of the reason why we're still around, I guess.
It's the encouragement of that, you know, that they used to think if we can get away with it, then they can.
Yeah.
And they've done it.
They have.
Just one last one. I've only got to get down and meet them. But your fans, you've been very lucky with them. You must know a lot of them by sight or even by name these days. But what is it to have such a loyal and devoted group of people who will, you know, come and see you open a blooming envelope sometimes?
Well, you're the best to answer that.
It's just, you can't do without fans, in the same way as fans really can't do without rock and roll music. The difference is that they've got a choice of a massive bunch of people to buy records from, and we're just one of the choices. But to have a group of people that will staunchly follow you through thick and thin because they just love what you are and what you do, it's impossible to explain what that feels like. It's the reason why we're able to tour still. Otherwise, how could we do this? Selling out shows, 36 shows already sold out, and it looks like we're going to sell out Australia, New Zealand, South Africa. How could we've ever done that without a following of some sort?
Impossible.
It's all because of me.
We need to give them a round of applause.
Here's to the audience.
Thank you for your loyalty.
We love you.
Wonderful.